In this episode, we are going to move from prevention and awareness into preparedness for when something goes wrong despite your best efforts. No organization, regardless of size or maturity, can guarantee that incidents will never occur. Systems fail, users make mistakes, attackers adapt, and new vulnerabilities emerge constantly. The difference between a contained event and a damaging crisis often comes down to readiness rather than luck. Incident response readiness means having clearly defined roles, well-practiced playbooks, and disciplined communication habits before an incident ever begins. When these elements are established in advance, teams respond with structure instead of confusion. Before we continue, a quick note. This audio course is a companion to our course companion books. The first book is about the exam and provides detailed information on how to pass it best. The second book is a Kindle-only ebook that contains 1,000 flashcards that can be used on your mobile device or Kindle. Check them both out at cyber.author.me in the Bare Metal Study Guide series. Incident response, IR, after the first mention, is the organized approach used to detect, analyze, contain, eradicate, and recover from security events. Readiness is about preparing that approach in a way that is realistic and actionable. Many organizations write response plans that look impressive on paper but are rarely tested or understood by the people expected to use them. Real readiness is practical. It ensures that when an alert appears at an inconvenient hour, the right people know what to do, who to call, and what decisions they are empowered to make. It reduces hesitation and limits the time attackers have to cause damage. Clear roles form the foundation of readiness because uncertainty about responsibility wastes precious time. During an incident, questions like who is leading this effort, who communicates with leadership, and who coordinates with external partners must already have answers. Role clarity prevents duplicated work and avoids important tasks being overlooked. Even in smaller organizations, basic role definitions matter. Someone must coordinate technical investigation, someone must manage communications, and someone must make business decisions about risk tolerance. When roles are predefined and understood, the team can focus on the incident itself rather than negotiating authority. Authority boundaries are equally important. Response teams must know what actions they are allowed to take without waiting for extended approval. For example, isolating a compromised system or disabling a suspicious account may require swift action. If responders hesitate because they are unsure whether they have authority, the incident can escalate. At the same time, major business-impacting decisions, such as shutting down a critical service, may require executive input. Defining decision thresholds in advance reduces confusion and ensures that the right level of leadership is engaged at the right time. Readiness depends on balancing speed with appropriate oversight. Playbooks are structured guides that outline how to respond to specific types of incidents. They translate high-level plans into step-by-step logic that responders can follow under pressure. A playbook might describe how to handle a suspected phishing compromise, a ransomware infection, or unauthorized data access. The purpose of a playbook is not to script every action rigidly, but to provide a starting framework that reduces guesswork. Under stress, people benefit from having a reference that organizes tasks logically. Playbooks help ensure that important steps, such as evidence preservation or internal notifications, are not forgotten. Effective playbooks are realistic and concise. If they are overly detailed and difficult to navigate, responders may ignore them. If they are too vague, they provide little value. The most useful playbooks outline key actions, decision points, and communication steps clearly. They also align with available tools and organizational structure. A playbook that assumes resources you do not have creates frustration rather than readiness. Therefore, playbooks should reflect the actual environment and capabilities of the organization. Testing playbooks through exercises strengthens readiness significantly. Tabletop exercises allow teams to walk through simulated scenarios and identify gaps in roles, communication, or technical processes. These exercises reveal misunderstandings that would otherwise surface during a real crisis. For example, a team might discover that two departments assumed the other would notify customers in the event of a breach. By practicing scenarios, teams clarify expectations and refine procedures. Exercises also build familiarity, which reduces anxiety during real incidents. Communication discipline is one of the most overlooked aspects of incident response readiness. During an incident, rumors spread quickly, and incomplete information can create confusion. Disciplined communication means having predefined channels, clear messaging authority, and consistent updates. Internally, employees should know where to look for official updates and how to report concerns. Externally, communication with customers, regulators, and partners must be accurate and coordinated. Mixed messages damage credibility and can increase legal or reputational risk. Documentation during incidents supports both operational control and later learning. Recording timelines, decisions, and actions taken creates a clear narrative of events. This documentation helps during post-incident analysis and may be required for regulatory or legal review. Readiness includes having a method for capturing information without slowing response. Simple templates or designated note-takers can help maintain records efficiently. Good documentation reduces reliance on memory, which can be unreliable under stress. Coordination with external stakeholders is another readiness consideration. Many incidents require interaction with law enforcement, regulatory bodies, or external forensic specialists. Establishing relationships and contact information in advance avoids scrambling during emergencies. Knowing when and how to involve external experts ensures that response remains structured. Preparation does not require contacting authorities for every event, but it requires clarity on escalation thresholds and procedures. Resource availability also influences readiness. Incident response often requires tools, logs, backups, and personnel availability. Ensuring that logging systems retain sufficient data, that backups are accessible, and that contact lists are current supports rapid action. Readiness planning includes reviewing these practical details periodically. A well-defined plan cannot compensate for missing logs or outdated contact information. Operational readiness depends on maintaining supporting infrastructure. Training responders regularly reinforces readiness. Team members should understand not only their roles, but also the overall flow of incident handling. Training sessions and exercises help maintain familiarity with procedures and update knowledge as systems change. Over time, staff turnover can erode readiness if new members are not on board properly. Consistent training ensures continuity and preserves institutional knowledge. Leadership support is essential for sustained readiness. Incident response preparation requires time, resources, and executive attention. If leadership treats readiness as optional or secondary, gaps may widen unnoticed. When leaders participate in exercises and review response plans, they demonstrate commitment. This visible support encourages collaboration across departments and reinforces the importance of disciplined preparation. Finally, readiness is not a one-time achievement. Threats evolve, systems change, and organizational structures shift. Incident response plans, roles, and playbooks must be reviewed and updated periodically. Continuous improvement ensures that readiness remains aligned with current risk realities. Treating readiness as a living process rather than a static document keeps the organization prepared for emerging challenges. In conclusion, building incident response readiness requires more than drafting a policy. It demands clearly defined roles with appropriate authority, practical playbooks tailored to real scenarios, and disciplined communication practices that prevent confusion. Testing through exercises, maintaining documentation processes, and ensuring leadership support strengthen preparedness further. When readiness is embedded into organizational practice, incidents are managed with structure and confidence instead of panic. That structured response limits damage, preserves trust, and turns inevitable disruptions into manageable events rather than uncontrolled crises.
Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit baremetalcyber.com.